Dear children, now let's take a quick look at what's a summary of the lesson Adventures in a Banyan Tree. Adventures in a Banyan Tree is a short story by the noted Indian English writer Ruskin Bond. It's about the experience of a boy who lived in a village with his grandparents. He loved to spend his time in a large old banyan tree in the garden near his grandhouse. In the tree, he got some other friends like squirrels, snails, and butterflies. A squirrel which lived in the tree became his close friend. The squirrel trusted him very much. It came closer enough to take food from his hand. In spring, parrots, mynas, and crows made the banyan tree the noisiest place in the garden. They enjoyed themselves chirping all day long. The boy had the habit of reading adventurous books. He used to read them sitting on the platform he had constructed halfway up the banyan tree. When he did not read, he sat watching the surroundings from the tree and saw the perfect view of the world under the tree. Once he witnessed a fight between a mongoose and a cobra from there. Once in a warm summer, everyone was staying indoors. The boy only was wondering if he should go to the pond and swim with the buffaloes. Suddenly, he saw a huge black cobra and a mongoose coming out. The cobra knew that the mongoose was very angry and had a good fighter. However, the cobra was no less fighter as he was fast and had sharp fangs of deadly poison. So, it would be a battle between the best fighters. Both the animals didn't notice the boy. Soon appeared the two spectators, a myna and a crow. The mongoose opened the attack. In order to take part in the fight, the crow and the myna threw themselves at each other and returned safely to the cactus. The crow got hit very sharply by the cobra. The crow lay weak and injured on the ground as the fight continued. Slowly, the mongoose overpowered the snake. The mongoose dragged the dead cobra into the nearby bushes. The myna gave a shrill cry of congratulations and flew away happily.
Well, children, the lesson Adventures in a Banyan Tree being over, let's have a brief look at how the exercise can be attempted. First, let's consider the examination model, that is, any one paragraph from the lesson may be asked as comprehension question. Comprehension question means read the passage given as many times as possible and answer to the questions given below. Normally, 5 questions may be asked based on the given passage. Each question carries 1 mark. Of the 5 questions, 4 will be direct questions from the passage and the 5th one will be a vocabulary test. Say for instance, maybe a synonym, that is words of the same meaning, or an antonym, words with the opposite meaning, or one word substitution. Let's see one example taken from the passage. Please attempt it.
Read the passage carefully and answer the questions given below it. It was an April afternoon, and the warm breeze of approaching summer had sent everyone, including grandfather, indoors. I was feeling drowsy myself and was wondering if I should go to the pond behind the house for a swim, when I saw a huge black cobra gliding out of a clump of cactus and making for some cooler part of the garden. At the same time, a mongoose whom I had often seen emerged from the bushes and went straight for the cobra. Now let's see the questions. What made everyone stay indoors? Question number 2. Why did the boy think of going for a swim? Question number 3. Where did the cobra come out from? 4. Who had the boy often seen in the garden? 5. Locate the word which means sleepy. Okay, now let's think of the answers. First question, answer goes this way. It was a warm April afternoon. Answer to question number 2. He was feeling drowsy in the summer heat. Question number 3. The cobra came out of a clump of cactus. The boy had often seen the mongoose. 5. Locate the word which means sleepy. Its answer is drowsy.
Well, now let's consider another type of question. These are descriptive and longer type of questions. They may be narrative or character sketch. In a narrative, you have to give a total description of what really happened from A to Z. You have to describe. That's called narration. And let's see one narration, that is how the fight between the mongoose and the cobra started and how did it end. From beginning to the end, you can give a description in your own language. This is called narrative.
Well, now let's discuss another question. Describe the fight between the cobra and the mongoose. The cobra and the mongoose got ready for a fight in a clearing beneath the banyan tree. On seeing the mongoose, the cobra made a hissing sound and its forked tongue darted in and out while it raised its body 6 feet off the ground and spread the broad hood. The mongoose brushed its tail and the long hair on its spine stood up as it got ready for the fight. At first, the cobra tried to mesmerize the mongoose into making a false move by swaying from side to side very slowly. But the mongoose very cleverly avoided meeting the snake's eyes. It fixed its gaze at a point just below the cobra's hood and moved forward to attack. With very quick movements, the mongoose bit the cobra on the back of its hood and darted away to escape. The cobra tried to strike the mongoose but failed. A crow and a myna were watching this fight from a cactus tree. The mongoose then sprang aside and bit the cobra again. The cobra and the myna also dived at the cobra but bumped into each other. The mongoose attacked the cobra for the 3rd time. This time, the cobra struck the crow when it tried to interfere again and it died. This time the cobra struck the crow when it tried to interfere again and it died. When the mongoose and cobra returned to fight, the cobra was tired and weak. The mongoose went near the cobra fearlessly and raising itself on its short legs, it snapped the snake by the snout. The cobra writhed and lashed about in a frightening manner. It even tried to coil itself about the mongoose but failed. The mongoose hung onto the snake's snout until it ceased to struggle. He then gripped the snake round the hood and dragged it into the bushes. Next question is how to prepare a write-up on how a tree helps to beautify nature. Adventures in a banyan tree tells how much a tree can contribute in protecting nature, preserving its beauty, harmony and sustaining life on earth. The single banyan tree is a shelter for many creatures. a resting place for the boy and a source of food for birds, especially during the fig season. All the creatures in this world are the rightful inheritors of the earth. They love to live in harmony. Humans do not have particular right to exploit Humans do not have a particular right to exploit the resource of nature. We should feel for our fellow creatures living in this world. While cutting trees, we are actually denying the rights of other creatures and thereby endangering our own existence. The mindless deforestation is a major menace to nature. We harm our environment and ecosystem in the name of infrastructural developments like roads and buildings. Increase in demand for wood fuels and building materials. The deforestation process is also on the increase. The result is natural calamities like a flood and landslide. Needless to say, deforestation will result in the disappearance of rainwater and increase the global warming. Hence, to keep the natural ecosystem intact and help life existence possible on the planet Earth, it is essential to protect afforestation. We, the future generation, should join heart and hands and take an oath to preserve and protect nature.
Now let's consider yet another important descriptive question, that is character sketch. The very question gives you the clue. You are asked to write the character of the important character in the story. What are the important points to be borne in mind while attempting character sketches? 1. Physical appearance of the character. That means how he looks like. Whether he's a tall man like Amitabh Bachchan or a short man like Charlie Chaplin. What is his color of the skin? That is complexion. If it's an American or a British, we can call it white and a Negro black. If it's an Indian character, you can say fair and dark. Then his age and color of the hair. Maybe if he's a young man, maybe black hair, or if he's an old man, he may be of grey hair, like that. Next one is his habits: smoking, bullying, that means insulting or disturbing others. Then his nature: kind, cruel, helping, and so on. When you round up all these three areas, you'll get the total picture of the character of that important person in the story.
Well, children, now let's attempt a character sketch of the boy in the story, Adventures in a Banyan Tree. A boy is the central character in Adventures in a Banyan Tree. He seems to be a school student like you. He is fascinated by nature and likes to be in company with various creatures in nature. He lives with his loving and caring grandparents. His 65-year-old grandfather has set up an English model garden. And in the garden there is an old banyan tree which is older than the grandfather and their house. The boy has made the tree his undisturbed domain and built a platform halfway up the tree where he spends his afternoons reading books. He reads various kinds of books including adventure stories, novels, and so on. Whenever he is not in a mood to read, he sits on the platform and enjoys sights around him. Once he sees a tough fight between a huge cobra and a mongoose. In the fight, the mongoose wins, killing the cobra. The boy makes friendship with one of the squirrels living in the banyan tree, which delves into his pocket and takes food from him. He has also made friendship with a white rat which his grandfather brought from the bazaar. He often takes his white rat to the banyan tree and it mates with one of the squirrels there. The squirrel gives birth to 3 white baby squirrels. The baby and his grandparents are in thrill of having this nature's rarest gift. And the boy is proud of the white rat father, the squirrel mother, and 3 white baby squirrels.
Well, children, I believe all of you understood the lesson Adventures in a Banyan Tree well and familiarized the model questions and how to attempt them. In the coming videos, let's expect question and answer on other lessons as well. Keep watching. Have a nice time ahead.